Hi, my name is Stanton Fanto, and today I will be talking about eutrophication in the Gulf of Mexico. This includes the process, causes, effects, and solutions. Modern-day agricultural practices largely contribute to an anthropogenic environmental issue in the Gulf of Mexico known as eutrophication. Eutrophication is a process that creates hypoxic areas in marine environments, and these are commonly referred to as dead zones. Nitrogen and phosphorus fertilizers are the source of the issue. The eutrophication process negatively affects the ecosystem and fishing industry of the Gulf of Mexico, and there are scientific and social solutions to resolve this problem, such as artificial wetlands and government subsidies. Eutrophication starts when excessive nutrients from fertilizers are flushed from the land into rivers or lakes by rainwater. Plants then flourish because these pollutants provide nutrients in excessive quantities. Furthermore, giant algal blooms form, which prevent sunlight from penetrating into the water, which causes plants underwater to die. Then decomposers come in and break down all of the dead plants, further reducing the amount of oxygen in the water. The end result of this process causes the death of an ecosystem, or a dead zone, where oxygen levels reach a point where life is no longer possible and fish either have to leave or the organisms die. Concerning eutrophication in the Gulf, 40% of the lower 48 states drain into the Mississippi Basin, which connects to the Gulf. Majority of excess nutrients come from Midwest farming states that drain into the rivers, followed by the Mississippi. These fertilizers are used to maximize crop yield, but retailers recommend much more than is actually required. The mass drainage through the Mississippi Basin leads to dead zones the size of Massachusetts, and this presents threats to ecosystems, industries, habitat, and promotes growth of HABs. So the best solution, in my opinion, is artificial creation of wetlands. So historically, wetlands were once a natural feature of the Midwest terrain. 200 years of drainage took place, mainly converting wetlands into farmland. These natural wetlands that used to exist were important because they would act as natural buffers for sediment that would come in rainwater runoff and would block direct contact with stream. Natural wetlands would use up nutrients before they got to the streams. The buffer effect would come from the fact that algae and aquatic plants would use up nitrogen and phosphorus before there was direct contact with the streams. This artificial drainage from the wetlands to convert more land into farmland robbed the land's ability to naturally filter water. The artificial creation and restoration of wetlands in the Midwest states could restore the land's ability to act as a nitrogen and phosphorus sink. The idea is that wetlands would be in between a field's drainage site and the nearby stream. The fertilizer runoff would then have to be processed through the algae and plants of the wetland, effectively reducing direct contact with the stream to the Mississippi River. Studies in Iowa State show that this method can reduce direct exposure to the Gulf by 40 to 60%, as the wetlands would be acting as a natural buffer in between the drainage sites and the nearby streams. 5 governors residing in states along the Gulf have teamed up and created a program that incentivizes Midwestern farmers to use 80% less fertilizer. The program subsidizes crop yield if profits decrease. Results from the studies indicated that there were no significant loss in yield, indicating that retailers advertise using unnecessarily high amount of nutrients for their crops. The reimbursement solution is a great solution because it's a win-win situation. Environmental agencies can get what they want by putting less nutrients into the water, and farmers can get reimbursement if they lose out on any of their yield. So neither party loses. In conclusion, eutrophication in the Gulf of Mexico is a serious problem and is caused through anthropogenic means such as fertilizer runoff, and there are solutions that can combat this issue. Important solutions to consider are restoration and creation of artificial wetlands in the Midwest that once used to be natural features of the landscape. Lastly, other solutions, such as incentivizing farmers to use less fertilizer and reimbursing them if they lose out on yield, serves as a great solution to combat this issue. Thank you guys for watching my entire video. I really appreciate it. And this is the end. I hope you have a great rest of your year. Thank you. Bye.